Hey everyone, what's going on? It's Scott here from CanGeek Games and Collectibles. And tonight we are going to do a quick review of the Fidget Cube. However, before we do this review, I actually want to share a quick story with you folks that will tie into my review. So, many years ago when I was in elementary school, grade 5, grade 6 to be precise, I was a very fidgety individual. Some people would even suggest that I might have had a mild case of ADD or maybe ADHD. I think at one point it was actually suggested. When my teacher would be teaching lesson plans in the classroom, I would be expected to be seated at my desk paying attention, but I was usually off talking to friends at the other end of the classroom or, doing things that I wasn't supposed to be doing. And it used to drive this teacher nuts. So I would be forced to sit in my chair at my desk quite often, and I seemed to get a lot of, recess and lunchtime detentions as a result of my inability to stay in my chair. So when I was forced to stay in my chair, I was still feeling very fidgety. So what I would end up doing is I would end up fidgeting with whatever I had at my reach at the time, which was usually whatever the writing instrument was that I had at the time. Pen, pencil, it didn't matter what it was. And it was a lot of me doing this, flipping it around between my fingers or flipping it up and down in the air and trying to catch it because, frankly, I didn't have great hand-eye coordination at the time and would usually end up dropping it on the ground and provoking this teacher even more. So one day this woman, teacher by the name of Mrs. E, she sat me down and she said, Scott, small things amuse small minds. And that line, that expression has stuck with me through much of my life. Small things amuse small minds. I felt like at the time this lady was trying to motivate me, trying to make me look at the bigger picture. Over the years, though, I've wondered periodically if she was trying to motivate me or if she was actually being mean and condescending to a 10 or an 11-year-old kid that obviously had some issues. And the reason I'm sharing this story with you guys right now is because it's amazing how we as a society have come full circle. We've come from a point where doing stuff like this would upset educators to a point where educators are actually suggesting that parents go out and get their kids things like these to bring their attention back to the here and now. Now, here's why I'm saying this. When I originally saw these Fidget Cubes, I didn't think there was much to them. I mean, it was basically an oversized six-sided die like you would find from your favorite board game, Monopoly or Risk or, whatever. But when you look at it and you pay closer attention to it, and you start to actually do the research, you begin to realize very quickly what they were going after here. And it actually took a friend of mine who is a social worker to bring this to my attention. So these devices were originally designed with people who suffered from ADD or ADHD in mind. And it was for the same reasons as the problems that I was having in elementary school. It was for people who were fidgety, people who had a hard time focusing. The concept was that you drop one of these in their hand and you give them something to play with. And it makes it easier for you to bring their attention back to whatever it is they should be focusing on. At least that's the way this social worker friend of mine explained it to me, but it actually makes sense. Now, where this was originally designed for people who suffered from ADD or ADHD in mind, it is quickly spun off into becoming a stress-relieving toy for the average everyday person, you and I. So, regardless of what your fidget is, they have actually tried to put something on here for everybody. So to take a closer look at it, every side has a different fidget. This side has buttons that you can push and click and, goof off with. This side has this little spinner that you can spin around. This side has a switch that you can flick on and off. This side has gears and a little metal ball bearing that you can spin if your fidget is wanting to spin things. This right here, according to the research I've done prior to doing this review, is just apparently when you rub your finger over it, it is supposed to calm you down. It's supposed to provide that calming effect. Now here's why I actually own one of these. This is my gamer fidget because I'm a big gamer. I love my PS4, I love my Xbox One. This is a mini thumbstick off of a PS4 or an Xbox One controller. That's my fidget right there. So the manufacturer of this has tried to put a fidget in there for everybody, regardless of what your fidget is. Is it worth investing in? Yeah, at the right price, these are actually worth investing in. When I'm not running CanGeek, which is a side thing for us, I do my YouTube videos, I do my blogging, and I maintain our CanGeek website, I actually have to work a full-time job because CanGeek's a side thing, unfortunately. So I spend a lot of my time on my feet during the day, and I find that I'm fidgeting a lot. Usually I'm fidgeting with whatever's in my pocket at the time, which prior to purchasing one of these was a set of keys. I'd be jingling them in my pocket, flipping them around on my finger like this, whatever it was, until I got one of these. My fidget now, as I said, is the thumbstick because for some reason it's just what it does for me. That's my fidget. Now, as a guy, I'll be honest with you, walking around with this in my pocket and fidgeting with it, it might send a few people the wrong message. It kind of looks like I've got a game of pocket pool going on when I'm really just screwing around with this Fidget Cube. But I'll be honest with you, it does provide me with a calming effect. And for that reason alone, in a society where everyone seems to be more stressed out and everyone seems to be a little more anxious and on edge, the Fidget Cube is actually a really worthwhile investment. And, I say that if it's at the right price. We are planning to bring a small amount of Fidget Cubes potentially to the CanGeek store in the next couple weeks. So if it is something you're interested in after watching this review, keep your eye on CanGeek.com because the intention is hopefully to bring some of these to the CanGeek store. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have, please leave us a comment. Tell us what you think of the Fidget Cube. Let us know if you would actually invest in one yourself and what you feel the proper price point would be for something like this for you. What would you pay for a Fidget Cube? Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I hope you guys and gals have yourselves an outstanding evening, an outstanding week, and we hope to see y'all back here soon.